Hello everyone, I am Sarah Jumomi, your host, and welcome back again to the Investment and Business Development Talk series. In collaboration with IDAN, Government of Nagaland, NetFee, and Entrepreneur School of Business. Today we are diving into a topic that lies in the heart of a local progress: entrepreneurship, scaling local businesses, risk, resilience, and revenue. This session brings together inspiring entrepreneurs who have built from the ground up, navigated uncertainty, and created sustainable business models that not only support themselves, but generate employment and purpose in our region. As we spotlight these stories, struggles, and success behind business building in Nagaland and the Northeast, we hope it not only informs, but also inspires a new wave of fearless, grounded, and growth-oriented entrepreneurs. So sit back, take notes, and engage, because the future of local entrepreneurs starts with conversations like this. Okay. So thank you so much to the three of you for taking your time out and being part of our ongoing talk series. So before we begin to the discussion, I would request each one of you to kindly introduce yourself, starting with you, ma'am.
Hello everyone, my name is Subon Chio and I am the owner of the Handmade Dreams. It is an online store and we specialize in unique handcrafted beaded bags.
Thank you.
My name is Shivam. I'm the founder of OmniAI, a full-stack AI startup, and we are building AI teammates for small businesses.
Hello, my name is Medo Putsure. I'm the founder and CEO of Bambusa Express. I'm also the co-founder of Jomi Foods Private Limited. We are based out of Dimapur, Nagaland. It's amazing to meet you all, and we'll have a fantastic talk today.
Likewise, sir. Thank you so much. As we're all gathered here to discuss about the risk, the resilience, and also how the revenue, your business is boosting up the ecosystem here in Nagaland, we're very fortunate to have Ms. Subon over here too. So to begin with, every entrepreneurs have their personal stories to begin with. So can you take us through your journey? How did the Handmade Dreams begin, and what really inspired to start your creativity journey?
Okay, thank you. Initially, it began as a personal project. Just like how everybody found their passion during the pandemic, yes. I found mine in making beaded bags. So while being cooped up at home, I was really bored and I kept going through Pinterest. So as I was scrolling through, I came across a very pretty pearl baguette bag. Okay. So I really liked it and I wanted to have that bag. So the next day when the markets were allowed to open, I just went to the market and got the supplies, and I came back home and I started watching tutorials and started recreating it. So after a lot of trials and errors, when I was done with the project, I was really proud of how it came out, now considering that it was my first time. So when I showed my siblings and my friends, they appreciated my work. And then I just continued, I undid the project that I made. Yeah, I took it out and then I continued using the same raw materials and continued to, work with it on different designs. So when I continued to share the pictures with my friends and my siblings, they encouraged me and told me, like, why don't you try putting up an online store on Instagram? Nah? So I thought, yeah, why not give it a try? What's the harm in it? So I opened an Instagram page and I started uploading some pictures of products which I made for my siblings or for my friends. And that is how, the Handmade Dreams began.
Well, your friends and siblings are really lucky to have you, because I think with me personally, I could never come up, trying something, because I see on the Pinterest board, okay, I see that is something I wanted, but I could never try it. So, I think I should come to you, after this, we can talk about it. So, also that you have mentioned that your journey started during the pandemic. So from site table to global orders also, the Handmade Dreams started, like you mentioned, very personal to you, a handcrafted brand. Now your creations have also made all the way to Germany. So what did it feel like to ship your first international order, and what kind of preparation or confidence, did it take to cross the borders for you?
So When I received my first order, when international order, I was excited. At the same time, honestly, I was scared also because it was my first big order. Plus, I have never shipped internationally, so I was worried about how to go about and the shipping and everything. I was very new to it. So when she placed her order and she told me that she's a sweet Indian lady working in Germany. So she actually wanted it shipped to Germany, but I told her about it. Since it's my first time, I'm a little worried about shipping and if in case it gets lost in transit and everything. But she was very kind enough to send me her Indian address, saying that she was about to come back for her holidays, very soon. So she was kind enough to send me her Indian address, and I shipped it to her. So that the thought of having my handmade bags, which I've never thought about. Going beyond. So thinking about it gave me a boost confidence, and I thought to myself that okay, so no dream is too small. That is. It was a very good experience. Yeah.
Well, congratulations
Thank
for
you.
making to beyond. Well, we are definitely getting back to our discussions, your creative journey. Now, I would like to move on to Sir Shivam. Like I asked her, every entrepreneur has a personal journey. So what was the moment that you realized that, so that you could build something on your own? And how did your local roots really influence you to taking that first leap?
So when I dropped out of MBBS in 2015, I wanted to pursue my passion for music and racing. Both of these turned out to be very expensive. So I had to find a way to fund these things that I love. And I knew online career was starting to get popular back then. When I researched, I learned that I could help in marketing businesses. Started my own business, learned using that business, failed totally. By the time it was 2018, I had to prove my parents you left MBBS, so I had to compensate that with something equally, at least in terms of finance. So I figured out a way to sit here and work with US businesses. How? These small businesses would use a very popular tool called Wix for their websites. And this tool had a reputation back then. It's not very professional, this tool, quite amateur. But I had a different opinion. I believe that if you could design something with that, it's good enough. And it could be valuable for that small businesses to grow. So all these complaints, I took note. I did my research on good designs, spent a month or two building a good portfolio, and shared it with few groups in Facebook. Within 2-3 days, I was getting messages, and that's how I got my first online international gig. And very soon, from 2021 to end of 2023, I worked with over 80 businesses in US and EU. And I learned this problem that all of them are struggling with marketing. Building websites, making a logo, having the branding strategy and all this done is easy, but executing it and maintaining it and making something out of it is something that they all struggle with. So with the emergence of AI, I knew solving this problem is now possible. So I left all my gigs, settled back in Dimapur, Nagaland, and started focusing on this. It's been 2.5 years. So that has been how it's.
What a roller coaster journey you have had. Also, now that you mentioned about dropping out of MBBS, and then yes, you have had multiple failures as well, from print demands to like I see dropping out again. So, what really helped you navigate that sense of starting from zero, when OmniAI was also bootstrapped entirely from your savings?
It comes back to that core feeling of loving the things I love to do, So just like you love music, and when you learn a track, when you hear a track, you want to learn it, you want to play it. Similar, I see all these skills and things about business in that way. So I feel something is important. It's eventual that you have to learn it. So instead of thinking of it as a task or something, think of it as like another music track that you just have to learn and play it.
Such an easy, like just explain it so smoothly. Well, we'll get back to your OmniAI investment and also all of it. But for now, Sir Medo, how are you feeling, sir?
Very good, very good.
Thank you so much once again for being part of our panel. So, sir, from global boardrooms to homegrown brands, after working with global giants like Shell, Amazon, and NBC Universal in London, you returned home to start your own ventures. So what drove that shift from corporate comforts to startup uncertainty? Did you had any mindset that you have to unlearn or relearn in the whole process?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me here. It's so nice to hear their stories, inspiration always,
Yes.
right? So just to give some perspective, right? Growing up as a kid, I was an introvert. I was a very shy kid.
Okay.
And for me, my ambition was to get a job in the forest department because then I can be quiet with the animals and not meet anyone,
Very
right?
interesting.
I think 20 years later, how things have changed, right? I'm on talk shows, going out giving speeches, just how life has really changed for me. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think it's been a crazy journey from those days of how I used to think to what it is today. The whole journey of an entrepreneur, right, is there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, right? I mean, so getting back to that corporate experience, right? I mean, for me, I had a fantastic time. I was lucky enough to be able to go abroad, do my MBA, get amazing jobs at amazing organizations working there in the finance sector. But I think there was something missing, right? I just felt a sense of like, it's not complete, right? Maybe it could be a purpose in life, or maybe it could just be a characteristic that I had hidden within myself, right? To say that I need to do more, right? And that brought me back to India. They brought me back to Northeast, to Nagaland, my home, And to be honest, when I came back also, I had no idea that I was going to do a business. I wasn't someone that was thinking that I'll start a restaurant, I'll grow the restaurant, and all that stuff. I think one of the biggest things that I came back with was a thing that's very underrated, but I think it's very important as an entrepreneur also, is that word confidence, right?
That's true.
I had nothing, honestly. I lived in London during the peak years, my youth.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed there. I bought a lot of things that I didn't need. I spent a lot. I did not save anything. So when I came back, I came with a lot of confidence, but very broke, right? And then, of course, I've shared this before about my journey, how I started Bambusa with 1,000 rupees, right? That was the reality of how I really started. But it wasn't so much the 1,000 rupees, but it was what came after that, right? To sort of grow, to work hard, to understand the business, to grind in, day out. I was just before this talk show, I was sharing with one of the entrepreneurs that never regret what you do, right? I'm glad when I started Bambusa, I was working in the kitchen, I was washing the dishes, I was cutting the vegetables, I was going and purchasing meat, right? And I did that for a good 3-4 years, right? And honestly, I don't regret doing that. I don't think it was a waste of time because that was my foundation of learning what a business looks like. And today, because of that experience, I'm able to understand what happens in my kitchens, right? So never ever think that that's a waste, right? And then beyond that, of course, you need to, again, take the next step where you need to understand, okay, I need to grow. So I need to step back a little from operations. I need to delegate work. I need to build a culture. I need to build a team, right? Those are certain things. I speak a lot, but just trying to, give more perspective to, where I come from and how it is. So getting back to the question of how do you build a homegrown brand, right? I think beyond the fact that, like I said, I use my example of starting with 1,000 rupees because I feel a lot of us tend to think that we need a lot of money, we need a lot of capital, right? We need an amazing, out of this world idea, right? And that's what stops us from starting our business, right? I think that's not needed. For me, I feel that a brand is beyond a beautiful logo. It's beyond the interiors of a restaurant or a shop or a store or whatever you open. It's the day in, day out operational work that you do, right? Bambusa, when we started, we never were online. We didn't have an online presence. We didn't have branding as such per se. I got my cousin to just draw a panda with a bee, and that was our logo, right? I didn't invest in anything. I remember going to a design store and wanting to design my first menu, right? And they said, okay, we'll do you a menu, we'll design it, it'll cost you 15,000 rupees.
Okay.
I didn't have the money, right? So I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Let me just go online. Let me just figure out how to build it. And it was a very, very simple menu that we did. But I saved 15,000 there, right?
Exactly.
So we didn't really start off with a bang. We didn't really start off with amazing designs, amazing, interiors and all that. So it was just plain and simple, old table and chairs, dishes that were borrowed from my uncle, aunties, plates, year they use. That was how we started. But how it became a brand was because we made sure that every customer that walks into a Bambusa walks out a happy customer.
Yes, true.
And we will make sure that we will take the utmost care to ensure that every transaction with a customer is something that they will always remember. And that's what we feel like. It's the inside work that we do. It's the daily operations that we do. It's ensuring that we build a trust that a customer has, that we will deliver. That is what made it a brand, to be very honest, right? So yeah, I'm sure we'll speak more, but just to give some perspective. Yeah.
What a fascinating, inspirational journeys all of you have had. And me personally being a Bambusa favorite, especially for the combo meals. It's amazing, it's an honor for me as well to come here and listen to how your journey really started. So we are definitely getting back into in-depth conversations. So thank you so much. So, sir, that you have also mentioned about launching the Jomi Foods and then, the Bambusa Express that is already there. So that being really deeply rooted in the regional test and supply chains, how do you identify, untapped market needs in a place like Nagaland, and how do you balance that with the cultural authenticity?
To be honest, I think Nagaland or the Northeast has so much potential, so much opportunities, right? I reached a stage where I thought, okay, maybe I'm not doing justice to myself. Maybe I've grown now to an extent where I can do more. I can do more for not just myself, but for the society, right? And so we launched Jomi Foods Private Limited, right? And this was launched basically thinking of that one problem that I've heard since day one of me landing in Nagaland, that our food is being wasted. Tons and tons and tons of food that is being grown in the villages are just being either thrown away or they're being undervalued, right? Today's day and age, organic sells for so much. But our organic year sells for so less, right? It's so undervalued, right? So we said, let's look into this issue, and hence we started Jomi Foods Private Limited. That journey has taken me into, exploring the villages of Nagaland, meeting a lot of people. I think they are some of the most amazing people, actually. And honestly, I look at the potential that is there. Today, we are able to work with a lot of beekeepers, especially women. We always found that women used to stay away from bees, right? Because they have, I'm sure, some women here also feel scared of bees. But bees are, again, amazing creatures, right? They are like every other animal that is there, right? If you nurture them, you take care of them, they become friends. They are like family, right? And hence, we've taught that to women. And now we're so happy that so many women are able to generate revenue for themselves and support their families through initiatives that we've taken into the beekeeping space, right?
That's amazing.
So every time we look at this, right, every time anything that we do, we always try to say, let's take our region first. Let's inculcate cultural values that we have, right? And these are the basis of all the things, right? Where we bring in new ideas, new innovation is where we bring in technology, right? So Shivam's been doing some amazing stuff. I'm sure, hopefully, we can work with together in the future. But I think today's day and age, we need to bring two things together: our culture and our technology, to get optimum, usage of whatever we can, right? So I think, I mean, just in a nutshell, just letting you know, so something like that. That's
Wow,
basically.
that's amazing that you know how you have also, because I think, I mean, yes, now it is changing the mindset as well. When it comes to entrepreneurs, we think that women are left behind. But I think when, coming back to it, Women Entrepreneurs Network Nagaland also is there now, and then how it has also incorporated the entrepreneur, the positivity that has left for the woman now. So now you, ma'am, being part of the WEN, your journey speaks to both patience and persistence. So how has the women-led entrepreneurial associates, the ecosystem here in Nagaland helped you grow?
So I registered under when I think it's in the later part of 2023. So I registered there, and in the year 2024, I am like before that it was solely online based. I had no human connection with my customers or no connection whatsoever. Everything was done through online. So 2024, I had a little free time. So they organized market day in Guwahati in collaboration with another organization. So I thought to myself, why not give it a try since I'm free? So I registered and I joined. So when that was my first ever going out on a business market day, business trip, So that really helped me to come out of my comfort zone and try something new. And there I also realized that getting to know my customers now face to face is better than rather just texting through Instagram and like that. So having a face to face connection and talking to them, having conversations made me realize like, okay, so these are the things that I have to improve, these are the things that I have to do. So being with WEN has really encouraged me in a lot of ways, and also seeing a lot of women entrepreneurs who are very fearless in bringing their ideas to something tangible. So that has really encouraged me. And I also believe that if women are given more, of course there are lots of opportunities, but more platforms and mentorships or those kind of things, then I believe that women can do a lot more, not just in Nagaland, but even
beyond.
Beyond. So that is what
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. And I think now our Nagaland as an emerging state also, we're in the stage of developing. So I think we're also doing really well when it comes to really promoting women. Of course, with that saying, it's not like, let's not be comfortable where we are. But again, it's all about taking risk and then being very consistent with our business as well. So thank you so much for sharing that. Also that, you mentioned that your brand is completely like solely online branding. So that your orders are also increasing, I believe, and with your audience also. So how have you ever felt any pressure to scale that, to balance that, or have you decided to where to draw the line, keeping it handmade and also demand your handmade business being demanding?
With the rise in orders, sometimes it becomes a little tempting to outsource as well, and to speed up things. But I constantly keep reminding myself that the main essence of my brand is handmade. So I constantly keep reminding myself that it is better to have a few number of pieces with meaning rather than just going for the numbers. So that is what I constantly keep reminding myself. And if in the future, if I have time or if time permits, maybe I'm thinking of training a small team which can help me out. So, but not like, what is that? In huge numbers like that, not like that, not just a small team. That is what I plan to do,
Wishing you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, I will move on to Sir Shivam. In the earlier stage, we have surfaced about the OmniAI, how it has been bootstrapped entirely from your savings. So I want to dive more into it. So, without any investors also, like, were there any moments that, like, that you felt like, okay, maybe I should just quit this, or let me just, be there? Were there any thoughts as such?
In the beginning, there was, but I realized it was my own lack of understanding of how to position a product. So, so there are always multiple options for a person to choose.
True.
We can choose the easy way out, but that means we have given up on something important. So instead of that, you can always keep trying and refining the approach.
Yeah.
And I had to change my company's narrative, the way the product is positioned, quite like 3 to 4 times before I got some traction. So once you keep doing that and see improvements, you see, most of the things we think it's impossible is possible.
It's
We
actually
just have to
possible. Yeah, I agree
keep
with
trying
that.
and refining the approach. So that's been the mindset that's been helping. And
Such a
also
great mindset.
not to have FOMO. We hear lots of keywords and trendy words everywhere in the internet and media. We have to learn to look beyond the surface knowledge. We realize that all of these things are actually not so beneficial for our long term.
Yes.
All the things we hear and we try to follow these trends.
Yes.
So if we are able to disconnect ourselves from those things, then it's a much more peaceful way to be.
Yes. Quite the opposite, because with ma'am, her business is solely online, depending on the with the growing in audiences as well. And then with both of you say here, you have started from the scratch, from the ground scale. So now with the emerging of the digitalization, so like, has there been like any pros and cons, or maybe any challenges, that has like impacted or maybe like affected, like in your business circle? I would like to know from both of you, sir.
Once again, the question.
Yeah. So as I was saying, the pros and cons of the internet, right?
Yes.
So starting a business from the scratch, like, were there any like impact or any influence?
Oh yes, definitely. It's so much easier to start a business now on the internet
Okay.
with very less money. So yes, the playing field is getting level. Day by day, it's getting more smoother. So definitely not a challenge anymore.
Okay.
And it has allowed access to people from even the remotest village with the dream. So yes, it's everything has good and bad. People still use internet for bad stuff, but yes, it's just like any other thing. But definitely, I can see the good more, because the learnings and exposure is more. We need to be exposed to bad stuff and good stuff both to differentiate them. So the more we get exposed, the more,
You learn.
yes.
Yes. Can I just add to
Yeah,
that though?
please.
So, like he said, it's so much easier today because of the internet, right, to start a business. But keep in mind, everyone has that access also, right? So it's
Yes,
not
I
for
agree.
just us or select few, right? But I think the fundamentals of business remain the same, right? So I think it's great that like she started an online thing, but if she now gets the fundamentals wrong, right, the basic fact that her product is bad,
Yeah.
if her service is bad, if she does not respond in time,
Yes.
it's going to fail,
True.
right? But if she does all those in the best way possible, it's going to survive, it's going to thrive, right? So yes, access to people have reached,
Yeah,
the
it's become
customers
the
has increased, but the fundamentals remain the same. So I think it's very important for our young viewers to also remember that entrepreneurs or people who want to become entrepreneurs should always remember there is no shortcut to success, right? The internet today has leveled everything, right? I always say a child or a kid in New York, for example, and a child in Dimapur has the same access
Yeah.
to information, right? How you utilize that
It's on you.
is on you, right? You could either sit there, watch reels, watch YouTube shorts, watch Instagram, and surf around the whole day, or play games, or you could use it for the right information, like how Shivam is saying. Use the internet for the good things,
Yes.
and you could really progress. So I think that's very important. So I wanted to share that.
something very important that needs to be addressed also.
Correct.
Because now the young generations are just lost in the world of reels, just scrolling down the Instagram. And then also with that, the complaints come like, oh, the government is not doing anything. There's no opportunities. But like Sir said, we have to find it. We have to make the opportunities. So very true. Thank you so much. So also, Sir, coming back to your entrepreneur journey, with over 12 years of your business and also 7 years in the corporate world, you have seen both the structure and both the hustle. So what do you think most, the first-time founders underestimate when it comes to running a successful venture? Not just starting it, but starting.
Right. So, thank you for reminding me I'm old. Yeah. But no, but I think, like I said, I'm just repeating myself, but I think the fundamentals of business is very important, right? I think we should always remember that. For me, I think mindset is also very important. The fact that you are going to have difficult days, right? There are some days where you will make a lot of money, some days where you will not make any money at all, right? And I think if the motivation is to make money, I think you are in the wrong motivation, right? I think the motivation should be to create something, to have a purpose, to maybe impact, or just to challenge yourself, really, I always say, like, what makes me get up every day is problems, right? I love it. I love it when we have a problem. I love it when there's some issue that has to be solved, because that's something I look forward to, right? Because for me, I like to be a solutions guy, right? I like to find a solution. If we get lost, I'm happy, right? Because then that's another reason for me to find a solution. So I think it's a mindset. It's very, very important. Like I said, everything can be learned, everything can be trained, but you have to have the mindset to say, I will try, I will push myself. Money will not motivate me, but something else, a bigger purpose will motivate us. Once we get in, grind it out. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs that start a business. They are super excited when they start. They actually go to the store, they'll paint the store also, that excited they are. But 3 months later, they will not be seen anywhere near the business, right? They're letting the managers run the business. So that is not how you run a business. That's not how you grow, right? Like I said, first 3 to 4 years of my journey as starting up Bambusa, I was in the kitchen day in, day out. I was sweating it out there. I was in there working with my team, doing whatever had to be done, mopping the floor, sweeping the floor. Even though I was the founder, right, I still did it. And I think that is needed for every entrepreneur to really, truly understand how to really grow their business or to really understand their business, right, to scale up eventually. Of course, when it comes to certain entrepreneurs who've been doing it for 4 or 5 years, who've been grinding it out also, and they're finding that we're not able to scale up, I think that's the second stage. I think that's when you have to step back and you have to do a lot of theory. I think it's important that you read books, you invest in yourself. I've said this before also, people don't invest in themselves. That's very sad, You travel, you go out, you go to the expos, you go and visit expos, you just participate in some, even if you don't participate, go as a visitor, go and see what others are doing, what the rest of the world is doing. Try to be in some forums, try to attend seminars. I think there's some fantastic seminars that are happening in Dimapur itself, and yet they don't attend it, right? And we complain, right? The fact that, hey, I'm not growing. But you got to attend these, you got to invest in yourself, you got to take out time for these, right? And that's where all the learning is coming. Like I said, you have an option of, everything is on the internet. You could watch a nice YouTube video which teaches you about branding or teaches you about financials, but we close down. We don't want to watch that, right? We want to watch, I don't know what we are watching, CID, or I don't know what young people watch today, but we're watching those stuff. Squid Game. I mean, what is Squid Game going to do for your business, right? Let's be honest, right? You could use that to watch a very successful entrepreneurial podcast. There's a podcast known as the Indian Business Podcast, right, by a person called Ganesh. I listen to it every time he launches a new episode. It's amazing. I would definitely recommend this podcast for everyone who is an entrepreneur, who wants to be an entrepreneur. Go and listen to this guy. He's a Bombay-based podcast guy. He interviews a lot of people who are like very high level, running crore worth businesses, but the way he breaks down their businesses to understand cost to each level is like you really get to learn a lot. So yeah, so that's
Amazing,
it. I could
amazing.
go on, but yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you so much. Any one of you would like to also like supplement to Sir's saying, Sir Shivam? It's for the startups, someone who's beginning.
Everything we do in life that we do out of love. Many people, I'm sure, they love playing games. So in games, we learn how to increase our score, this and that. So it's almost like real life. Game theory is being applied in every game. So if a person who likes to play a game starts applying that same approach in real life, that becomes a weapon or some sort of advantage. So I can see we do a lot of things that we are good at, but we need to apply those same learnings and approaches into fixing the problems of other areas of our lives. And that's how I believe people can at least move ahead and find something.
Yeah, now that we're talking about it, I have another question for Sir Medo. With the finance background, how do you approach your funding, like for the ventures, funding your ventures, bootstrapped and also like investor backing up or maybe a hybrid? Also, like what's your advice for entrepreneurs from the Northeast looking to raise capital in their market, like that often overlooks the region?
Sure. That's a very good question, actually. I think your first venture, you should try to just do it with whatever small amount of money you have. I don't think you should try to really take a big loan or maybe raise funds through, what private loans or whatever, private funding or whatever, because you must approach your first startup, your first venture as a learning process, right? I truly believe that, right? The first one, when you start with huge amount of money, right, and have never run a business before, there's too much stress on you to actually succeed, right? But when you actually start something with like literally next to nothing, right, maybe a few thousands, maybe about 1 lakh or whatever, then at least the stress level is lesser that if you fail, your life is not going to change. You're not going to fall in debt, right? And I think it's very important to understand that the first venture is not to make money. It's to learn the ropes of how businesses work. It's to train yourself. It's to explore within yourself your capacity, your capabilities, your skills, and to polish them up, right? So my advice to every young entrepreneur would be start small. Learn, use that time to learn. When you're ready, when you've launched a successful business and you want to get into a second venture, then you could actually think of starting to raise fund from the start. Like what we've done with Jome Foods, right? We've been able to raise capital with our second startup, but Bambusa has always been bootstrapped, right? It's just organically grown. Whatever profits we used to make, we used to reinvest into the business, right? A lot of people, again, make the mistake that when you earn, they think it's profit. It's not, right? It's revenue minus cost equals to profit, right? Or loss, right? So they usually forget that. So they invest a lot, they get returns, and then they think that returns is investment, is profit, right? But you need to reinvest into the business. So that's what we did with Bambusa when we started. That 1,000 became 2,000, became 3,000, 4,000. That's how we slowly grew up, yeah. So I think that's important.
Thank you so much. Well, now coming back to you again. So let's talk about your handmade dreams, your branding. Your focus is on to holding a sense of tradition, stick to your culture also. So do you consciously draw that inspiration from the Naga aesthetics or symbols or personal memory? Or how do you hope that your pieces carry the story forward when they reach the customers?
Okay. I do take inspiration from the Naga aesthetics. So I remember I once designed a bag for an owl lady, which complemented her owl mekla. So that experience has stayed with me, and after that, an idea has always been there that I want to have a collection where want to have a collection where it has a touch of all the tribes. So that is a work in progress right now.
Okay.
So yeah, I do take inspiration from the.
I'm really looking forward to
yeah.
that project. Well, also now coming back to you, to your journey also, like have you ever like had a moment of, maybe a doubt or maybe like a financial crisis? Were there any specific places in your journey that, like maybe like I asked to Sir Shivam, like, any moment of like, okay, I'm giving up now, like, that is it. You had any moment as such?
Yes, of course, there were a lot of times, especially like when Sir was mentioning, slow orders. Now, when we are running low on orders, or say burnout also. So those were the days when I really wanted to give up. But then encouragement from friends and family, and also like feedbacks from customers also. Those are some things which kept me going. And then sometimes it would just be sitting there on my work table and creating something. So those are the days that really helped me to not give up and continue. No?
True. That's so beautiful, because I've been saying this again and again, but with the coming of the the digital also, the social media playing a role, and then the too much of depending on the government or our family, we tend to just give up. Like seriously, like your first venture should be a time for you to explore, to expose yourself, then learn. So it's really like this is one of the motive also for us, having a talk series like this, where the audience are watching us and then they're being inspired from us. So it's amazing, thank you so much for being very honest also, giving us the harsh, the truth that we needed right now. So thank you. Also now that, with your brand growing so steadily over the Instagram, your social media, like are you looking for any coming up with any upcoming projects or maybe a pop-up sales or a collaboration looking forward?
Yeah, okay. Maybe towards the end of July or maybe first week of August, I am planning to do a collaboration with the local artisans, no, just to support each other. So that is one, and another is like I have mentioned, the work in progress with the new collection, no. So those are some things, and pop-ups and markets I would always love to join. Yeah, because that is when I like I mentioned before, get to communicate with my customers or with people who share the same interests, no? And I learn a lot as well. So I'm always looking forward to pop-ups and markets and all. Yeah.
Wishing you good luck.
Thank you.
Where hopefully we can also come be a part of the pop
You're
sale.
most
So
welcome.
So moving on to Sir Shivam, for a young person in Dimapur, or maybe coming from a very small town, struggling to find the confidence or the clarity when they're starting up, what would be your honest advice to them? Or maybe not the motivation, it's okay, but maybe the hard truth, like Sir Medo's already made it so clear for the young entrepreneurs. So coming from your point of view.
I mean, I don't know how easy it's gonna be to understand. What I'm gonna say is, we all have insecurities, multiple insecurities. But it is important for us to choose which insecurities to work on and using what methods. So I could just give in to a ready-made solution. It might solve my insecurity today, but long term it might cause lots of newer problems. So it's just a little bit slightly more effort to understand what you want to do more better, more deeply, and to have a more clear direction. Ki, even if people don't understand it now, later on they're going to understand stuff like that. And I'm sorry I forgot your question.
Not the motivation lines for someone starting up at piece of hard.
Yes,
the
so
harsh reality.
I'll share you my motivation. So growing up, I used to be very frustrated to my father and granddads and all those people. Ki,
I think we've all been there.
yes, what have you made? Why did you, if things are not ready, then why did I come to this world? Stuff like that. So, and then I grew up with that frustration, listening to punk rock and all. But then by the time I reached 26, 27, I started to have a change in perspective. Like, I cannot keep complaining.
True. Agree.
So tomorrow, like the fact is every day new kids are getting born. I don't have to give birth. My neighbor is giving birth, my uncle, my brother, everybody is giving birth. So I started worrying about these kids like few years back, 5-6 years back. And then I realized I have to do something so that when they are in the position, they have something to follow their passion or some sort of support. So it's that fear from the future generations, they are going to curse us if we don't do anything. A very driving motivation.
I think very interesting perspective, I should say. And I'm glad that, your frustration, your perspective have completely transformed, has taken the transition also now to starting up, being productive and, leaving something for the younger generations. So, yeah. So, yes, Sir Medo. Oh, well, so you have talked about, starting from scratch and then you also like leading the team, on ground experiences. Yeah. So when it comes to, the talents, the teams and leadership in small markets, have you faced difficulty, finding professionals with the right mindset locally? Because I think in Nagaland, like I said earlier also, it's an emerging, and with our mindset shift also, there has been a gap. So so how have you dealt with such challenges, or tell us a little bit?
So it is true that there is a lack of talent, especially for certain positions higher up in management. It's very difficult to find very good professional people who come ready-made, who can actually boost the business and the growth of it, right? That is true, right? And I'm sure a lot of businesses who are trying to scale up has this issue, right? But for a startup, I think the level of people, at least, to a certain extent where they're just starting up, that is available here, right? When I came back to Nagaland, actually, I always heard a lot of people say, Naga youths are very lazy. Yes. Even today, I hear people say that, right? And also another thing is, you're going to start a restaurant. True. No Naga youths will work, right? Yeah. I tell you, Bambusa employs 100% Naga youths, right? And these Naga youths are one of the most hardworking people, right? I mean, honestly, I'm so impressed and I'm so proud of each and every employee of mine, right? Team member of mine. To your employees. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like they amaze me a lot, right? And what's different, I'll tell you. We actually are an organization that is very employee-centric, right? We look at their growth, right? We've understood the fact that why they're indisciplined, why people call them lazy, right, is because they have not had any guidance in their life, right? Fortunately, unfortunately, even their own parents, especially ones who come from the villages, right, have not guided them, right, to say that, okay, this is right, this is wrong, this is how, right? And so their guides are their friends, right, who have not been guided equally, right? So they're lost. Yes. So it's a youth. It's not that youth are lazy, youth are lost, right? Yes. And if you actually just step back and look at them and take some time to understand them and to guide them, they become those finished diamonds, right? It's like unpolished diamond to a diamond, right? But the process has to be there. We introduced things like Bambusa Got Talent, right? Which now has gone into season 6 or 7. It's amazing. We do leadership trainings for our staff. We do a lot of trainings throughout the month, right? I mean, how has Bambusa grown, right? It's not been that we serve amazing food and hence people, no, it's because every other customer tells us also, right? That when we come to Bambusa, we know that the staff is genuinely happy because they're smiling, right? Whereas you go to other restaurants, they're not smiling. It's because they maybe, I don't know, if they're happy, unhappy, whatever it is, but we make sure that our team members are taken good care of. We listen to them. We give them constant training. We give them constant life skills, right? And I think that really helps a youth grow. And hence, talent, while topmost talent is not found, is very difficult. Bottom talent can be found, but has to be nurtured, right? And that's really been the difference. So, yeah.
Yes, I also have experienced, so for someone, a regular customer for Bambusa, I've noticed, like how the employees are also, like the customer service, I think it's the best. No, I'm not saying this just because it's over here, but then also we have had experiences with our friends also. When we go to other restaurants, they don't even smile back at us. And we just wonder, like, what is wrong? Like, because it's not like we have to be respected or we have to be looked up, but I think your clients, it's very important to maintain that relationship with them.
Correct,
So
correct.
I think you're doing amazing, sir. And then, like, it's such an honor. Like I said, I'm repeating it again, but it's such an honor to have you here and having to, like, address such issues also, the gaps also. Like, I really hope that the audience can really take something from this. So thank you so much. And also now, coming back to your vision also, and someone who has been already there in the business for more than a decade now, how would you define a long-term success?
So, along with my co-founder, Toshi and La Jamir, what we're working on today with Jome Foods really has a huge vision of bringing the Northeast on the map of the world, right? That's the dream, right? And hence, we know that although it's very challenging, we believe that it will happen, right? It's the impact that we create, right? It's the legacy that we're going to leave behind, right? It's the work that we do, making real impact, really working with, like changing lives is what we look at. And hence, how we are positioning ourselves in terms of the work that we do through this organization is something that we're looking at to exponentially grow and create that exponential impact, right? Which is literally can be felt anywhere around the world, right? Today it might sound huge and big and unreal, right? And that's what we thrive on, right? That's our dream. It may happen, may not happen, but even if we can get to 10% of what we believe in, that is success for us, right? And hence, like I said, success doesn't really mean how much money you made or how much sales you did or whatever. But success for me is the true impact that you've had during your lifetime, right? We don't know how long we'll live, but at the same time, I think it was this speech that I heard Steve Jobs. I think it was one of the universities in America. He says that live every day like it's the last day of your life, right? And I truly believe that. I live like that. I want to say that, okay, if I'm to die today or tomorrow, what's the legacy that I'm going to leave behind? What's the work that I'm going to have done, and achieved, right? And so it never is money. It's never like I need to have this much crores in my account, right? It's never that. For me, it's always been I need to have helped or impacted X number of people, right? Or have changed X number of lives, right? And that for me is true success. So yeah, so I hope that answers your question.
Amazing. So wonderful, So yeah, as much as I'm sure, I hope all of you are enjoying this conversation. So as much as we are all having this conversation, this discussion, I want to go back to the general point of view, like representing the entrepreneurs. So on behalf of the entrepreneurs, I have a few questions for you all. So it's open to all, so anyone, please feel free to, answer us, or maybe we could always supplement one another's answer. So for the entrepreneurs, what are the clear indicators that, that help one to decide that, okay, this is the right time to scale my business?
Sure, take it.
Depending on the product or service, it's slightly different. It's slightly different for everyone, but it's mostly when you are unable to escape the scaling. So as solo founders or as traditional people working in handmade, we will try to stick to our core, but there will come a level where you cannot avoid it anymore. So I think that's the highest point to start scaling after that.
Yeah. So just to add to that also, I feel like we have something known as the founder syndrome, right? Which means that we don't want to let go, control, right? Yes. I mean, we like to do everything ourselves. True. At the end of the day, duk paise, right? But we'll still want to do everything ourselves, right? And that's for everyone to, it's not something that is only felt in Nagaland, right? It's all over the world. Everyone feels that. But at some point of time, you will come to a stage where you feel, I need to grow, right? I need to scale. And that's when you need to build systems and processes in place, structures in place. You need to have a culture, a work culture that you've created. You need to be able to train people to take up the jobs. And the biggest thing is you need to be able to let go, right? Those responsibilities, knowing that they will mess up, They will make mistakes. It's okay, but it's part of the process, right? And I think that's very important for you to scale up. When you want to scale up, that depends on like what Shivam was saying, right? That depends on when you feel it's right. You try to scale up. You try to move into this. So it's a process. Everything that they say, like entrepreneurship is a risk. It's a risk, but it's a calculated risk, right? So that's what people don't talk about, right? And why calculated? Because you have to. It's not like gambling that overnight you say, okay, I'm going to leave everything. It's a process that you go through. When you feel that, okay, my team is ready, okay, this is ready, my product is ready, I've expanded this, then you are ready to scale up. That is when you start scaling up. So, yeah.
Rightly said. I think it also has to do with being patient also. I think that is something our Nagas lack a lot. Patience, Medo.
Correct.
Like, they have to like have an instant, like outcome. And if it does not work, like, I wish I tried to. But see, amazing. This is like the living testimony over here, being consistent also. And then just striving, pushing yourself. So yeah, amazing.
Yeah. No, I think one word you use, consistency, I think it's very important. It's very, very important. True. Day in, day out, day in, day out. Right. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room, or you don't have to be the smartest person alive. You just have to be the most consistent person, and you will succeed.
True.
Eventually, you will.
So, yeah, like we've been talking about the fun things, we've been talking about the challenges also, and something that, the gaping also. So I want to like ask, like, what are the most common financial issues or, the mistakes that our local entrepreneurs, we make, like when trying to expand their own businesses? Anyone?
You can take this.
It would be instead of trying to build connections and everything, it's overpricing also. Like want to get rich overnight, no? Yeah, that is what I usually see in a lot of new startups. So for me personally, I believe in what is that? Providing service, no? Rather than getting the income first. So when you maintain your good reviews and everything, later on you can increase your rates and everything. No? So that is what I think many people make a mistake there. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah. I agree on that. Anyone would like to supplement?
I haven't reached the level.
Maybe, sir, I think.
No, I think what she said is very true. I think they'll just kick themselves out of business because they try to overprice everything. I think the focus has to change. Focus has to be on providing an amazing product with amazing services. Eventually, if you're good at what you do, you can charge a price for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's also a common, thing we talk about, right? Like they tell us like support local. But when we actually go to support local, it's not for everyone.
Correct.
But then most of the local entrepreneurs, the pricing, it's like overpriced. And sometimes we question also, like, is it worth it, like, for us to actually really support them also?
Yeah.
So I think very true. You have really put up the most important.
I just want to say something though. I think there's a word called contribution margin. I think go look it up. It's very important. I think people need to understand the concept of contribution margin.
Yes.
It means that if you sell X number of thing for a certain price, once you cover up the fixed costs, you could sell it for half the price and you could still make a large profit on it. Understand contribution margin. We don't have time today, so I can't explain. But it's a very interesting concept that I think all entrepreneurs should understand.
Yeah, very true. I think I'm also going to take a note on that, maybe so that I don't forget. Anyways, like seriously, we could go about all the whole day, but we have to come to an end. So thank you so much for being part of the panel discussion. So before we wrap up this, I would request each one of you to maybe send a message to our audience, a motivation. Like we've already put up that earlier, but a last message for your audience.
If you think you are good at something, just go on, do it. No? Don't be scared to take the first step, I would say. Just do it and continue doing it until you refine yourself. So that is what I would.
Okay, I would like to repeat what Sir said repeatedly. Ki, don't focus on the money. Money is like an after effect of good work. In my own experience, whenever I focused on money, it never lasted. So, and I'm sure other people who focus on money, they tend to start doing unethical stuff just to get more money out of everything. So that never gets you too far. And secondly, I want to use this as an opportunity to say that now lots of new service-based businesses are coming up, from software to different sorts, and all of them struggle with sales. They are dealing with their own methods, their own team, but everybody is hugely struggling. So if a new business could come that only focuses on sales for us or all this service, they will be the sales agency. That would be really, really powerful for Nagaland to, export our services outside also. So that is what I wanted to say.
Okay. So I'll say watch the whole show. Don't skip, because I think we've discussed a lot of things, and there was a lot of learnings, I think. I would just say invest in yourself. I think that's very important, investing in yourself. Read books, watch YouTube videos that are tutorial, that are educational. Travel out, go to expos, go to seminars, attend whatever is there. I mean, and ask questions. I have a rule that says that I always make sure I ask one question in every seminar that I go to. And I'll make sure I sit in the front or at least the second seat. Very shamelessly, I just sit there. I really enjoy doing that. Be consistent, grind it out. When you're ready for scaling, make sure that you study more, read more, invest more, and in yourself, knowledge. And eventually just try to grow, build structures, systems and processes in place. And wishing all of you the best of luck. There's no shortcuts here. Just enjoy the journey. Yeah. Honestly, enjoy every part of the journey. It's not about making money, like I said. Just if you're the best at what you do, you'll be good at what you'll achieve a lot. So just that really. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our panelists. And also thank you for being very honest also, sharing your journey, your setbacks or your wins. And it's true that entrepreneurship isn't just about making money, but it's about creating value. It's about taking the bold steps in uncertain times and building something meaningful for our community. We're very grateful to IDAN, Government of Nagaland, NetFee, Entrepreneur School of Business, and to all of you for supporting this platform. Your presence is what keeps these conversations alive and relevant. Let's carry forward today's insight and continue to support local businesses that dares to dream, risk, and grow. Thank you.